That's so crazy to think about, that like there's people who follow me on the internet now who just like don't know that I used to be a digital artist. Like that used to be my main thing. I know now I'm this weird painter, fashionista, e-boy thing. I made webcomics for years. That was my thing. I thought that was gonna make me money, and then I realized I was making webcomics. I gave it a right attempt though. 5 years of making a webcomic every day. It took me places. It taught me a lot of things. Sometimes I talk about my days in the webcomic biz. Sometimes I talk about my history of doing webcomics as this kind of like wistful thing that happened once a billion years ago and is now just a strange memory that I have in the past. But really, it did teach me a lot. Which is why I always tell people that whenever you want to do anything creative, or you want to do, whether you just want to do anything, whether it's like learn a new skill, just learn something new, you just do it. Because you know what, you'll learn about that thing that you're doing, but you'll also learn a whole bunch of other stuff on the way. Making webcomics for 5 years was great because like it taught me about writing, it taught me about comedy, it taught me about what is funny and what isn't. It taught me about interacting with people on the internet.com. Those are all things that I do now, today. Webcomics and stuff like that, when you're doing them, you're like, this is my shit. This is my thing. This is gonna be the thing that pops me off on the internet.com. I'm gonna go viral and everybody's gonna love this thing that I did and this webcomic that I made, and it's gonna be great. And then you get to a point where you simply do not even remember the name of the thing you did, and honestly, it's growth. It's human nature. What webcomic? It was a webcomic called An Exercise in Futility. It was a daily webcomic about 2 penguins in the Arctic. And I have a book of it, literally right over there, but it's underneath a bunch of other things, and if I try to grab it, they will all clatter to the ground, and I will make a huge mess. And also, break a mirror, which is bad luck, I'm told. I mean, everyone's into webtoons now, so I guess, you know, close enough. Welcome back, webcomics, am I right? God, I remember webcomics used to be the shit back in the days. Like, I used to be really, like, ingrained in the world of, like, what was it? Tapastic? Or it's like tapas.io. That's just what I did. And, like, I met a lot of other creators through doing that who, honestly, I couldn't even tell you their names now or even what their projects were. But I just remember reading, like, dumb little webcomics on the internet and, like, we'll all comment on each other's things and be like, wow, we're, like, indie published comic kingpins, you know what I mean? And now look at us, doing completely different things on the internet.com years down the line. Listen, one day if I get to 20 more billion subscribers or something like that, I'll be able to sell the rights to my webcomic and it'll be great.